Hi, this is Shubhangi, and today we are going to see the most touching autobiographies ever written on earth. That's right, we are going to see A Long Walk to Freedom by the most prominent authors of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. So let's quickly begin this video. Nelson Mandela, who spanned from 1918 to 2013, is most recognized not only as the first black president in South Africa, but he is also renowned as the president of National African Congress. Not only that, but he has been a chief socialist and activist in anti-apartheid movement in South Africa. Apartheid was a legal system that was designed by the whites so that they can continue with white supremacy. By apartheid law, they had a legal right to rule over the blacks. Long Walk to Freedom, which was published in 1994, had been a chief source of inspiration worldwide. It had influenced a lot of lives to the extent that Mandela has not only been honored by Bharat Ratna in 1990, but he has also been awarded with Nishan-e-Pakistan in 1992. Not only that, but he has also been awarded the rarest prize on earth, and that is Nobel Peace Prize, which was awarded to him in 1993. Mandela says that 10th May 1994 has been the most wonderful day in the land of South Africa because in a lovely sandstone amphitheatre which was constructed by Union Buildings of Pretoria in South Africa, there was this largest rainbow gathering site for the purpose of installation of first non-racial government. That means it was an official end of white supremacy and an installation of democracy in South Africa. Mandela was accompanied by his daughter Zenani, who witnessed the second deputy president, who was Mr. de Klerk. She also witnessed the first deputy president, that was Thabo Mbeki. Along with that, she also saw Nelson Mandela taking his position as the first black president of South Africa. Mandela took his position as the first president and he pledged to obey the constitution. Not only that, but he also promised the land that the extraordinary human disaster, that is, the racial discrimination that lasted for centuries and centuries, will be far, far away from the land now. He thanks all the international guests for their support and says that it was a common victory for justice, for peace, and for human dignity. He assures an absolute freedom from matters of poverty, deprivation, gender, and other, that is, racial discrimination. He also says that from this day onwards, this land shall never see such a human disaster, that means such an oppression once again. He says that this land will never see any oppression from now on. The heroic performance by the jets and the military troops added charm to the event. Also, there were two national anthems which were sung on this crucial day. The first song that was sung was Nkosi Sikelel' i-Afrika. The second national anthem which was sung was Die Stem. Each individual was filled with the zeal of patriotism on this day. And Mandela was truly honored to be a president of such a nation. And thus, he recalls that it was in the first decade of 20th century, before his own birth, that the white supremacy took a charge over South Africa, and then there was no stopping to that until this day. He says that this racial discrimination is the most inhuman act that he has ever witnessed on earth. He even says that this day has come to him by unimaginable sacrifices of his own people. He also thanks all his ancestors and all the leaders who have sacrificed their lives for this day. He says that the policy of apartheid has created a deep and lasting wound not only in his heart but in the heart of all the South Africans. He acknowledges that it is only due to such depths of oppression that his country is blessed with some amazing leaders. He names some fantastic leaders like Walter Sisulu, Oliver Tambo, Bram Fisher, etc. Mandela believes that it is only because of these people, these white people, that he got to know the true meaning of courage. For him, courage is not in the absence of fear, but it is triumph over fear. He gives one anecdote from his personal life, and he says that while he was in prison with his comrades, then the slightest of humanity in the eyes of the guards would melt his heart and would make him believe that yes, humanity still exists. And that was the thing that motivated him and that kept him going. Kept him going to struggle for independence and to fight for freedom. He further addresses twin obligations of each man. The first obligation is towards the family. The second one is obviously towards the community and the people of his own race. But he says, being born in such a country like South Africa, he could not fulfill the twin obligation. He could not fulfill any one of the obligations either. He says that the country was suffering to the extent that any man who would stand for his own rights would be punished miserably. And this is when he recalls that he was never born with this hunger for freedom, but it was the circumstance and the situation that made him hungry to strive for freedom. And that is why he finally decided to join African National Congress with the motive of absolute freedom and to demolish the white supremacy. He says that it was the desire of freedom not only for himself but for his brothers, his sisters, and all his community members that kept him going. That kept him going for years and that transformed a frightened young man to a bold one. And that bold one became a law-abiding attorney, and he became a criminal. And it turned a family-loving husband into a man without a home. And it forced a life-loving man to live like a monk. That is the whole of his journey that he is describing in a few words. I hope you have understood the sensitive autobiography by Nelson Mandela, that is, A Long Walk to Freedom, in a clear and better manner. Please comment down below which chapter do you need next, and please subscribe to my channel if you have not yet done it. Bye bye.